Okay, so the power is off. So here's what we're gonna do. Because obviously I'm in class, but I am just gonna play this to have you guys walk through these problems, and then we will talk about any questions that you have in class today. Okay, so let me just grab something and then we'll get started. Okay, so the warm-up has already been gone through the board, so let's start on the notes. So the first thing is, when we're looking at these intersecting tangent and secant lines, we're mostly going to focus on tangents today. And then later on, or tomorrow, we're going to focus on secants. Okay, so let's just talk about what that means in terms of having a tangent line that intersects an arc. Okay, so as we can recall, if we have this tangent line, it intersects at a point of tangency. Then the measurement of each of those angles is going to be equal to half the measure of its intercepted arc. Okay, so it's very similar to what we did before with intercepted arcs and inscribed angles, but now we're just going to have tangent lines in the place of inscribed angles. Okay, so in other words, if we were looking at the picture over here, if I was looking at the measurement of angle 1, that intercepted arc would start from A and go to B, and what I would do is I would just basically take 1/2 of the measure of AB. Okay. Similarly, for measurement of angle 2, you can take 1/2 of the measurement of that other arc, AB, or ACB. Okay. Another way of thinking of this is also by dividing by 2. Okay. Or if we were trying to find the arc, by multiplying by 2. Okay. So, in other words, we're going to be dividing and multiplying again by 2. Okay. Alright, so let's get started on this. So, question 1, you will start the problem off as you've always done before. Start by labeling what you're trying to find. I'm trying to find the measurement of angle DEG. So DEG would be this angle here. Okay. And so what that would be is that would be your angle, and then where your arc is, it starts at your point of tangency and then goes around until that pink line stops. So that's going to be 308. So in other words, to find the measurement of the angle, you can think of it as multiplying by 1/2 by that arc or dividing by 2. Either way, you're going to get the same answer of the measurement of angle DEG is equal to 154. Okay? So that's for the first one. Okay? The next one, number 2, is going to be looking at finding the measurement of the arc WVX. So now what I have is I have this angle in here, that's 134, and then WVX is going to be this arc right there. That's your intercepted arc since it falls in between those two. So in other words, what I have is I'm going to multiply both by 2, okay? And so what I'm going to have is eventually you're going to have the measurement of WVX is going to be equal to 134 times 2. Okay? And so you're going to get 268 equals that measurement. Makes sense? Okay. I'm just going to do something really quick just so we are not interrupted by this. Hide alerts. Okay. All right, so number 3, you want to look at what you're trying to find. You're trying to find the measurement of arc DBC. So, I'm sorry, angle DBC, which is this angle here, okay? You do not have the intercepted arc. You need to find it, that arc, okay? So in other words, if the entire circle is 360 and this is 192, my first step is going to be to do 360 minus 192. And so what you're going to get is you're going to get 360 minus 192. Just give me a second with that. Is 168. Okay. And so this arc right here is 168. And so to find the angle inscribed, you're going to do 168 divided by 2, and that's going to be 84 So that's the measurement of that angle. Make sure you put degrees on it as your final answer. Okay. Okay. Number 4, similar. So you're going to have to go backwards. BEA is going to be this arc over here. So if I can find the measurement of this arc using the angle that's labeled 74, then I can find it by subtracting 360. Okay. So in other words, what I'm going to have is I'm going to first do 74, the angle, multiply by 2 to find the green arc, and that's going to be 148. That's the green arc. Okay. And so what I'm going to have from there is you're going to have the arc be 148, and then you're going to have to find the pink arc. The entire circle is 360, so I'm going to do 360 minus 148. Okay, and you're going to get the measurement of that arc, BEA, is 212. Okay. There. Okay. For the measurement of arc XY, just be careful. That's a really small arc. That's this arc right here, okay? So again, we don't have the intercepted angle. What we do have is we have this angle right here is 151. I can find the measurement of that intercepted arc by doing 151 times 2. And so that's going to be 302. And from there, if I want to find the measurement of that little purple arc, the entire circle is 360. And so I'm going to subtract 360 from 302. And you're going to get, you'll get 58. Okay. And so the measurement of that arc is 58. Okay. If at any point you guys want me to pause this video, feel free to and try a problem on your own. I'm just trying to get through all these. Okay. For the measurement of angle 6, or for number 6, okay, it's really hard to see, but you have this angle right here is 23 degrees, okay? So if I'm trying to find the measurement of arc KNM, that's that major arc labeled in red, I want to find the measurement of, and it's really small, this arc right here. By simply doing, if I have the angle 23, you're going to multiply by 2. And so you're going to get 46 for that green arc. And then the entire circle is 360. So to find the red arc, I'm going to do 360 minus 46. And that's going to be 314 degrees. And so the measurement of that arc is going to be KNM, okay, is 314. Okay. Okay. For number 7, that's going to be solving for x. So now it's the same process as you've done before. You're just now asked to solve for a specific term. Okay. Also, I forgot to erase all this, so let me do that really quickly, just so that you guys can go through it. Okay. Okay. So for number 7, there's a couple options what you can do. Okay, the first thing I want to notice is that angle is where x is located. Okay, the intercepted arc is what starts here and then it goes all the way around to that other line, so that's 140. Okay, I know that this is double that angle. So if I want to set that angle equal to something, I want to cut 140 in half first by dividing by 2. And so that's going to be 70. Is the angle, okay? And then from there, 6x minus 38 and 70 are in the same location. So I'm going to set those two parts equal to one another, okay? So that's the easiest way to do it without having to multiply by fraction 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to add 38 to both sides. You're going to get 6x equals 108. And then divide by 6, you're going to get x is 18. Any questions? If you have questions, let me know. I'll always come over, okay? Cool. Let's continue on, okay? 3 more problems. Okay? So it says solve for x, okay? Solving for x, you're looking at this arc, okay? And so what I want to do is I want to simply find, if I can start with 23, I can find the measurement of this arc, which is the intercepted arc of 23, by just simply multiplying 23 times 2. And so that's going to be 46. Okay, so the measurement of that arc. And then if I want to find the purple arc, the measurement of that, the entire circle is 360. Part of it's 46, so I'm going to do 360 minus 46, okay? And so you're going to get 300 and, let me just think for a second, 14? Let me just check, make sure. Okay. 360 minus 46, yep, 314. Okay, and so that's the measurement of the arc, which is also represented by 14x minus 22. So I'm going to set those two parts equal to one another. And you're going to get 14x minus 22 equals 314. Okay, solve for x, add 22 to both sides, you get 336. Okay, and equals 14x. And then divide by 14, you're going to get x is 24. Okay. If you want to try a problem that's similar to number 8, try number 9. Pause this video for a second and just try it out. I will write up the problem in 5 seconds. Okay, so here's what I want to start with is I'm trying to find this angle here, okay? If I can find the measurement of this arc, I can find the measurement of that angle. And I can find the measurement of that arc by just doing the entire circle is 360. Part of it's 226, okay? 360 minus 226 is going to be 134 degrees will be the arc. To find the angle now, the angle is half of this. So I'm going to do 134 divided by 2, and that's going to be 67 degrees. And then finally, I'm going to set my algebraic expression equal to 67 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides. You get 75 equals 15x. And then divide by 15, you're going to get x is 5. Okay. So you're kind of like working backwards. Like if you start here, you move that number here, you move that number here, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, the last one is going to be labeling the parts. So remember, a major arc has 3 letters, a minor arc has 2 letters, so we want to make sure we're labeling, like we're checking with whether or not that's a major or minor arc, okay? So the first one, it says the measurement of bed is 15x minus 47. So that's going to be a major arc, so we want to make sure we label that. B, E, D, is that right there? It's 15x minus 47. And then BD is 9x minus 1. Okay, and you want to try and find the measurement of CBD, which is this angle right here, okay? Okay, so here's where we go from there. Is obviously we need to solve for x somehow. So looking at this picture, I have that entire circle that's labeled. An entire circle is going to add to 360. So in order to solve for x, I'm going to add up those 2 parts that I was given and set it equal to 360. And so what you're going to get is you're going to combine like terms. You're going to get 24x, and then minus 47 minus 1 is minus 48, and that's going to equal 360. Okay. From there, you're going to add 48 to both sides. You get 24x equals 408. Okay. And then divide by 24, you're going to get x is 17. Okay, now that's not the question that was asked. It was asking to find the measurement of that red angle I labeled, okay? So how can I do that? Well, I don't obviously have that angle labeled, but I do have the intercepted arc labeled as 9x minus 1. So if I can find the measurement of that arc, I can find the measurement of that angle. Well, that's just going to be by plugging in x and finding the measurement of that angle, which is going to be 152. Okay? So then finally, if the arc is 152, that angle is going to be half. So I'm going to just take 152 and divide it by 2, and you're going to get 76. And since that's the angle I'm trying to find, then that's my final answer. Okay? So a problem like this would probably be 3 points on a test. 1 point for labeling the diagram, 1 point for setting up the equation solving for x, and then 1 point for solving for the missing angle. Okay? I know that was kind of quick, but I'll be around for questions. Give me a second. Okay. The homework is going to be the Delta Math. That's on Delta Math. It's 2-16 G lesson 25-2 homework. Okay. I'm giving you the rest of the time to work on it. I'm also going to check in the homeworks and then also pass back the quizzes. Okay. This is already posted to Google Classroom, and I'll also post this recording right now to Google Classroom. Okay. All right, guys, you can sign off. Have a good one.